Have you ever dreaded walking into a room full of strangers or found yourself struggling to keep a conversation alive at a business gathering? Welcome to Bookish Mind, Season 08, Episode 12, where we dive into Deborah Fine's insightful book, The Fine Art of Small Talk, to unlock the power of connection in these very moments. We're talking about the often underestimated, yet incredibly powerful art of small talk. This deep dive is all about pulling practical, actionable insights from Fine's work for those crucial situations. Think meetings, job interviews, networking events, and even the more casual business functions where, connections are really made.
Oh, absolutely. It's a feeling that resonates with so many of us, isn't it? That kind of knot in your stomach as you approach a reception or maybe a conference, scanning the room for a familiar face, maybe, only to find yourself sort of adrift.
Yeah.
Or perhaps you've been caught in that awkward silence, desperately trying to keep a conversation from flatlining with someone you just met. This widespread apprehension, this dread about entering unfamiliar social or business settings, or the struggle to maintain a vibrant conversation. That's precisely why the insights from the fine art of small talk are so universally relatable and, honestly, so incredibly valuable.
I completely agree. And what's interesting is even with that initial apprehension, these events aren't just social hurdles, are they? For business professionals, they're actually crucial opportunities.
Special.
They're not just about exchanging business cards. They're fertile ground for developing genuine business friendships and, well, strategically broadening your network. The book makes a really key point here. Networking isn't just confined to formal mixers. It happens all the time, often in the most unexpected places.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating about Deborah Fine's perspective is her core revelation. Small talk isn't some innate personality trait, something you're either born with or not. Quite the opposite. She asserts it is, unequivocally, a learned skill.
A learned skill. That's interesting.
Think about it. We dedicate years to mastering the technical skills of our professions, right?
Yeah.
Yet the fundamental art of conversation often gets, relegated to the background. But these conversational abilities are absolutely vital. Imagine the difference they can make. The ability to easily engage with anyone can transform a challenging scenario. Whether it's navigating a high-stakes sales presentation or nailing a tough job interview or even just smoothing over an uncomfortable social gathering, it can turn it into a resounding success. It's how you connect on a human level.
Right.
Build rapport that lasts and leave a memorable, positive impression that extends far beyond just swapping contact info.
So the big question is, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we move from feeling that dread to, confidently initiating and sustaining these valuable connections? Let's dive into some of Deborah Fine's go-to strategies for making that crucial first move at any event.
Okay. Well, it all begins with your mental approach and your physical demeanor. First, be proactive. Be the first to say hello.
Simple, but hard sometimes.
It is. Don't wait for someone else to break the ice. And when you do, introduce yourself. The book advises a powerful shift in mindset. Act as if you're the host.
Okay, what does that mean exactly? Acting like the host.
Well, it means if you're already in conversation and someone new joins your periphery, you take the initiative.
Yeah.
You introduce the newcomer to your existing conversation partners. It immediately makes everyone feel welcome and included. It's a great technique.
That makes sense.
And as for physical cues, always smile first and consistently offer a firm handshake when meeting someone. This isn't just politeness. A genuine smile triggers a mirroring effect, instantly lowers defenses.
Interesting.
And that firm handshake, it's a primal, confident signal of trustworthiness and engagement. It creates a foundational, positive physical connection even before a single word is exchanged. Finally, during these introductions, take your time. Really make a conscious effort to remember names and, crucially, use them naturally throughout the conversation. It validates the person, helps cement them in your mind.
That idea of being the host is really interesting. It implies a certain level of confidence you might not feel, but projecting it could change everything. Okay, so once you've made that initial connection, the real art begins, right? How do you keep that conversation flowing and truly show you're engaged? That's where we move to the next set of strategies. Deborah Fine emphasizes the importance of maintaining eye contact.
Yes.
In any conversation, we've all been in a group, 3 or more people, where everyone seems to be looking around, hoping someone else will hold eye contact. But the reality is, people just don't feel listened to if your gaze isn't directed at them.
Absolutely. It's fundamental.
It's a nonverbal signal of engagement and respect. Now, to genuinely get someone talking, The book suggests you get somebody to talk about why they're attending the event. That seems like a good opener.
It's a great one. Direct, open-ended. It immediately invites them to share their purpose, their passion maybe.
Yeah.
Makes it an easy path into a more meaningful dialogue.
Okay. And ultimately, it boils down to this. Show an interest in every single person you interact with. The book explicitly states, the more interest you show, the more wise and attractive you become to others. And as you're listening, cultivate the skill to listen carefully for information that can keep the conversation going.
Picking up cues.
Yeah, being truly present, picking up on cues, finding those conversational threads.
And this naturally leads into one of the book's most crucial mindset shifts.
Mhm.
Remember, people want to be with people who make them feel special, not people who are special.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is, isn't it? It's a profound insight. It means your role as the conversationalist is to help the person you're speaking with feel like they're the most interesting, important person in the room. This isn't about being dazzling yourself. It's about making them feel dazzling.
Right.
It taps into a fundamental human need to be seen, heard, and valued. When you truly listen and reflect that interest, you're not just gathering information, you're building a sort of psychological bridge.
Okay.
Another excellent tip is to play the conversation game.
Play the game. What does that mean?
Well, in practice, when someone asks you a common, often dismissed question like, how's business, or what's going on, resist the urge to just offer a quick, not much.
Guilty as charged there. Definitely done that.
We all have. Instead, tell more about yourself, share a brief, interesting tidbit, or maybe a recent success, something that allows others to genuinely learn about you. This encourages reciprocal sharing, right? It invites follow-up questions, prevents the conversation from hitting a dead end before it even properly begins. It's about opening a door, not slamming it shut.
I have to admit, I've probably been that person who just says, not much, way too many times. It's a hard habit to break. So what does this all mean for those moments when you might inadvertently trip up or hit a conversational snag? The book gives some remarkably candid advice on what to avoid. For example, be incredibly careful with business acquaintances.
Oh, this is a big one.
You wouldn't want to open a conversation with a specific, potentially loaded question like, how's your job at company name? Or asking directly about a spouse or a specific friend. What if they just got laid off last week?
Exactly. Or their relationship status changed dramatically.
Yeah.
The book warns you could regret it immediately and get awkward fast.
Right. And this is a big one, a common pitfall I think many people fall into. Don't act like you're an FBI agent.
Yes, the interrogation mode.
Fine points out that a rapid-fire sequence of questions like, what do you do? Are you married? Home? Do you have children? Where are you from? It often leads to what she bluntly calls dead-end conversations.
Yeah, because they're transactional, not connective.
Transactional. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They focus on data points, not shared experiences or feelings. Leads to short, often awkward answers that don't invite, authentic, open-ended sharing. The real art is about finding common ground, not just filling out a form about someone.
Absolutely. It ties right back to making others feel comfortable and genuinely interested in engaging with you. And a massive part of that comfort comes from being aware of your body language.
Nonverbals again.
Always important.
Yeah.
If you project nervousness or appear ill at ease, maybe fidgeting, looking away constantly, crossing your arms defensively, it instinctively makes others uncomfortable around you. So the advice is, well, act confident and comfortable.
Fake it till you make it, a bit.
Sort of, even if you're not feeling it internally. Projecting that welcoming, approachable aura invites connection. Another powerful strategy, often overlooked, is simply to be prepared.
Prepared. How so?
Spend just a few minutes before an event getting ready to talk easily about, say, 3 topics. These aren't deep, complex subjects, just light, universally accessible ideas. Maybe current events, interesting hobbies, something positive.
Okay.
These prepared topics will come in incredibly handy when you find yourself in the middle of an awkward silence. Or maybe seated at a table of 8 where everyone is just, playing with their food.
Yeah, I've been there.
They become your conversational lifelines. And while you're sharing your own thoughts, remember to show an interest in your conversation partner's opinion, too. You're certainly not the only person who has interesting thoughts on funding the space program or what's happening with the stock market, for example. It's about creating that reciprocal exchange of ideas where opinions are shared and respected, not just stated from on high.
That makes so much sense. I can just imagine pulling out one of those prepared topics when silence descends. Total lifesaver potential. And once the conversation is flowing, what about those tricky moments when someone starts to, Monopolize the dialogue. We've all met that person.
Oh, yes. The conversation monopolist. The book gives great advice here. Stop conversation monopolists in their tracks.
Okay, how do you do that politely?
The strategy is to wait for them to take a breath or a natural pause. Then politely break in with a brief, relevant comment about their topic. But here's the key. Immediately redirect the conversation in the direction you wish it to go. It's a polite but firm way to regain conversational balance.
Nice. A polite redirection. I like that. And just as important as starting conversations is knowing how to gracefully end them, right? You don't want to be stuck all night.
Absolutely. So be prepared with exit lines. You need to move around at these events, meet new people, broaden your network. Having a few polite phrases ready, like, "It's been a pleasure chatting with you, I'm going to circulate a bit more," allows for a smooth departure. Avoids the awkwardness.
Good tip.
Finally, the book reminds us, don't melt from conversations.
A melt. What does that mean?
It means don't just silently slip away without a word. That leaves a poor impression or no impression. Make a positive, lasting impression by shaking hands again, making eye contact, saying a genuine goodbye as you leave. It reinforces the connection and leaves that positive final note.
Right. Close the loop properly.
Exactly. And what's truly powerful here is the book's overarching message, a fundamental truth we often forget. Every encounter, every conversation involves a certain degree of risk, sure. But by actively looking for new people to meet, by being present, and by showing a genuine human interest in others, you truly can make friends and enjoy lively conversations. It completely reframes these potentially daunting situations into, well, exciting opportunities for connection and growth.
Exactly. So the core takeaway from The Fine Art of Small Talk isn't that small talk is just some frivolous social nicety or, a necessary evil. It is a powerful, learnable skill for genuine human connection. It's about shifting your focus from yourself to others, really, about making others feel seen, heard, and valued. And when you master that, you truly transform those dreaded networking events or awkward social gatherings into exciting, enriching opportunities for personal and professional growth.
Well said. And maybe something for you to think about. Think about the last time you felt truly connected in a new setting where the conversation just kind of flowed effortlessly. What was it about that interaction that made you feel special, made you feel like you truly belonged? Now, how might intentionally applying even one of these small talk strategies, maybe just smiling first or preparing those three topics, or simply listening more intently for those conversational threads, how might that change your very next networking experience?
The great question to ponder as you step into your next gathering. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you'll start to notice how these insights play out in your own interactions and perhaps even inspire you to try a few new approaches to unlock the power of connection.